Ladies and gentlemen,
Whoa.
this is the moment I slammed the lid shut on my laptop, burst out laughing in the middle of my office yesterday, and said, that's enough.
Renegade Online.
This is the same Disney, says the article, whose multi-billion-dollar content engines, Marvel and Lucasfilm, have sated men of all ages over almost 2 decades since the company acquired them.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment I slammed the lid shut on my laptop, burst out laughing in the middle of my office yesterday, and said, that's enough. I will read the rest of this. So we are now getting into the point of this article that I've not laid an eye on. This will be cold. For those of you wondering, just to be, and I had to, I'm not kidding, and I pulled it up because I had to do this. After laughing, I had to stop and actually question my thinking for a moment. Did I read this right? Have I forgotten the definition of the word sated, as in satiate, along that line, right?
Satisfy.
Say yes, not just. This is the same Disney whose multi-billion-dollar content engines, Marvel and Lucasfilm, have sated men of all ages over almost 2 decades. This is what I did.
First of all, that's about the fruitiest framing that you could possibly put on that.
I Googled sated. I'm like, I must have lost my mind. I actually Googled the word. And according to AI, Google AI, sated means having one's appetite or desire completely satisfied, often to the point of being able to take in more. I don't know if Variety is using this word in the proper manner. Merriam-Webster, sate is a verb that means to fill to repletion or to satisfy fully. Sated from dictionary.com, fully satisfied. Cambridge Dictionary, sated means having had more of something than you can easily have at one time, such as drink or food. The food thing was me today. Fully satisfied or glutted, says the Free Dictionary. According to Variety, Marvel and Lucasfilm have sated men of all ages, for nearly 2 decades. I want to know what multiverse. I want to know what multiverse that this happened in, because it wasn't Earth, this Earth. Okay. Over almost 2 decades, right? I mean, Marvel would maybe almost, you could call that almost 2 decades worth. With they bought Marvel in 2008, 2009. So we're about 16 to 17 years into that run, whatever
Right.
it was. Okay.
Yes, Thor and Captain America were the first official Disney. Wait, no. Iron Man 2 was the first Disney official one.
Everything else was already in motion.
In Star Wars 2012. So they had about 7 years of, I wouldn't say they owned the box office, because there's 5 movies and 2 of them at least were complete bombs. This is not satisfaction, and the idea here that they are sating their audience, which considering the thing that's been missing in most of these films, that's definitely not the right word in any sense.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I think they used it, and this is why this is part of the reason I laughed so hard at this. This is Variety's cope, right? They get a handle on this story. And again, the story is, to go back up here, this is why they wrote the article, is that multiple sources tell Variety that Disney studio leadership has been pressing Hollywood creatives, meaning I'm assuming people that aren't at Disney. They're out there talking to directors and filmmakers and screenwriters, pressing them to feed Disney stuff they can use, right? That's the crux of the story. Disney is desperately shopping for content to engage men. Variety wants to go to bat with this, but they have to know what this means, is that this is an admission of total failure on the part of Disney when it comes to the $10 billion of capital they sunk into Marvel and Star Wars, nearly $10 billion, just to acquire them. That doesn't include, in the case of Star Wars, another $2 to $3 billion to build out a couple of theme parks and a hotel that went bankrupt in less than a year. That doesn't include those billions of dollars. It doesn't include the billions more that they spent on Star Wars to make Disney Plus shows, barring season 1 and 2 of Mando, that were all massive failures, and Disney Plus is still not making any profit. So how do you write this article in such a way? Well, you tell them not that Marvel and Star Wars failed, Jonas. You tell the audience that no, Marvel and Star Wars, they did great. Everybody loved it. Everybody is now sated. They have now been overstuffed and fully satisfied, and it's time to move on and find the next thing. What a load of bullshit. I was
incredible.
like, just beside myself. This is the biggest lie, or the shaping of, in my opinion, the shaping of a lie in this article that there is. Now, of course, I didn't get past this point because this was so bad I'd had enough. The stuff I do for you.
You want to sate the audience right now.
Oh, God. All right. So
if a dude walks into your house and says he wants to sate you, go to the gun safe.
I don't need a safe. I just reach into this drawer right here in front of me, and that's the end of that.
Exactly.
How does Variety write a piece like this? This is pretty ballsy, but I get it. They've got some juicy scoops. It's on Disney. You got to run with it. So how do you lay the defense out there to not make Disney look bad? How do you set it up to where we can say that they're shopping for new stuff, but we don't want it to look like Bob Iger failed? Oh, we'll tell them that the audience has been fully satisfied with Marvel and Lucasfilm. I'm sure Disney feels like that right now with the $1 billion they're sinking into Avengers Doomsday. Okay? I'm sure Disney is very sated by spending that money on that stupid movie that is going to lose its ass in the box office. Okay.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.